Oh, sweet freedom. You were worried about freezing? We're fine. We have a Wait, what? Huh. Must be an eclipse or something. Or a ghost. That's also an option. The Princess of... Oh, right. We're helping Zelda. I kind of forgot she existed because she has been a statue this entire time. And we haven't even seen the statue since the start of the game, so... yeah. Well, that was quick. Maybe we're just delusional. Maybe we just did this in our sleep. You ever think about that, Ezlo? Anyway, yeah, there's something we have to do up there. But we're going to be, of course, doing tons and tons of side quests. And really, side stuff in general. It's not all questing, you know. I just dived into a little bit of a lake right there to get a heart piece that I really should have gotten sooner. Not that would have mattered too much. Anyway, talk to these kids. They just keep talking about the well. Gee, I wonder what we have to do. Maybe jump in the well? Yeah, we gotta jump in the well. So, if I'm correct, this area should lead... I actually don't recognize this. I got 100 rupees. As per usual, I don't need them, and yes, indeed, this is the area I was thinking of. We could actually get our reward for this section right now, if I remembered to go into Hagen's office and go to the little cave beside it, but I'm still not going to do that for a little while longer, unfortunately. So we're going to buy more stuff. That's really not necessary, it's just so I could have a little less money. But of course, the thing that we do want to spend money on is right here, the Swordsman Newsletter, and of course I'll read it. I mean, last issue was a little weak, but, you know, I'm down with this one. Yeah, I hate that guy, Swiftblade, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that guy sucks, I hate him. So that is actually a pretty good bit of advice, you know. See a wizrobe, light him on fire, that's fair. Pig-faced moblins may be a little less, they're easy to take care of. This is a different bit of advice though. This one's just saying, hey, by the way, if you want a money grind, use moblins. Yeah, it probably doesn't exist. I mean, why would you say it otherwise? Oh, that's a short one. Thankfully, he's talking about Tingle and not me. And also, thankfully, Tingle has nothing to do with me. I should actually probably write in. I mean, he knows Smith, so that's pretty good, you know. It's nice that he talks to our grandfather dude. Yeah, that's pretty good, but just gotta make sure he knows that Tingle's got nothing to do with us. Anyway, random Kinstone stuff. Buy a Kinstone, buy some cake with a Kinstone. You know, it's all pretty good. We're getting more green Kinstone pieces. Maybe eventually it'll be worth something. Oh, but we can actually access the school now. This place has been locked off for quite a while, but no more. We can see what wonders lie inside the school. Actually, it's a fairly unimpressive school. Look at these guys, too boring to go out and play, they're just eating instead, and... oh, we have the purple-haired teacher, who I believe is named Tina, because she's rather infamous. Remember how I mentioned Fickle fusers before? Yeah, most people know about that from that lady, because trust me, half the time she does not feel like using Kinstones at all. You can go in and out of the school, and she's probably still not going to feel like it, so make sure you talk to her repeatedly, because you might just miss her by accident. Of course, that lake bed dries up. Got to investigate that later. So this kid's named Joel. Are you named Mike? Well, I guess I won't be able to tell. Ah, well, we do still, of course, have business once we Still nothing. Once we flip this vase over, just do that. And we've actually had a reward in the Minish Road over here for quite a while now, actually. I don't even remember what it is that's over here. Of course, we do have yet another Scissors Beetle, but I believe that's the reward. So after all this time, we can finally see what is inside this chest that has been taunting us for so long. It is... I hate everything. And a large block, which actually blocks some pretty good rewards. But sadly, 2 people, not enough to move that rock. Heck, 3 people aren't enough to move the rock, so... we'll be back here much later, sadly. Won't be able to get that heart piece for quite a while. Hey, Minish, how's it going? Okay, sure, whatever. Don't know what that gal's talking about, but over... here we have yet another red Kinstone piece. Did anyone think I was exaggerating when I said we had more than enough of these things, that we will probably have enough for the rest of the game? Because I've said that a lot of times in this recording session, and let me tell ya, it's still true. I have so many red Kinstone pieces. Also, hope you don't mind, I'm just gonna shove this statue aside and go down the secret passage. And we're gonna speed this up, because it's boring. Basically, just bomb all the cracked blocks to one side. Don't destroy all the blocks. For me, it's actually pretty tempting to do so, just because, you know, they're blocks that are cracked. I have to blow them up, but chances are you're going to waste a lot of bombs doing that, and I don't really want to waste that many bombs, truth be told. So we're going to finish stuff up there and go to the inn, actually, because if you'll remember, there are a few things in the inn. Well, one thing, really. There was that little door that was locked by lanterns. See, this right here. I mean, I guess nothing's telling us it's locked by the lanterns, but you can assume. It's a Zelda puzzle, so light the torch, open the door. Then get on the floor and lament all of these red Kinstone pieces. You know, maybe you could add a bit of variety to the color. Or make them a random color, you know, just random in general. I wouldn't mind getting a green or blue piece at random, and oh, we can actually fuse with Malon. Finally! And our reward is over there. We'll actually be swinging by there fairly soon. Not in this episode, I'll believe, but Vale Falls is actually coming up pretty soon. Actually being able to go through there, to be specific. But we're not going to worry about any other side quest stuff right now, because we're actually going to the Hyrule Castle, and okay, actually, you know what, I lied. Since it's on the way, we might as well do this Tingle Quest reward. This one was from Knuckle, because David Jr. and the other guy whose name slips my mind, we still haven't covered them yet. I mean, I could fuse Kinstone pieces with them, but I never have the Kinstone pieces. So I can get a few not too good rewards over there. But that's not too important. Now we're in the garden, and a fair number of things have opened up. However, a few things have also closed off. You can't enter the castle, thanks to Vaati disguising himself as the king. So now the guards are just big old jerks, and they're like, no, you can't go inside the castle, Dylon. You gotta find some other way inside. And we will, in a moment. I gotta kill this gold rope first. Grab some rupees. Wonder if there could possibly be anything in these bushes. Perhaps, oh, it seems there is. Oh, indeed, there is a ladder. And this should look familiar by now. However, you can't actually do this before Temple of Droplets. Yeah, he doesn't actually want to train with lights off, even though it's not that dark. Either way, though, this guy has a pretty useful ability. So, remember that peril beam we got earlier? Well, now we have the good version of it. Or good-ish, depending on how good you are with the game, because now we get the proper sword beam, aka the one you use at full health. This is the one that's been in a fair few number of the past Zelda games, probably going to be in quite a few of the ones after. And all you do is just swing your sword when you're at full health and you'll shoot out a beam. However, I believe even if you lose a quarter of your health, you'll actually lose the sword beam. Like with the Peril Beam, I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure if you lose any health at all, then you lose the Sword Beam, so if you want to use it often, do be careful. So yeah, as I said before, if you're not that good at the game, you won't be seeing the Sword Beam all that much. And do we really need a scroll for this? Swing your sword to swing a beam. That is all of the instructions here. And we grab a free heart piece, and already we're at 3 again. Man, we're good. Also, I'd like to point out that I feel like their names actually got mixed up. This guy and the previous brother we found. Because this guy is named Grimblade, yet he teaches you the sword beam you use at full health. The other guy is named Waveblade, but he teaches you the beam that you use when you're on low health. So yeah, I feel like they got switched or something, I don't know. It just feels kind of weird. You'd think Grimblade would, have the ability you use when you're almost dead. Also, if you're wondering what that was about, I could have sworn you could burn down trees, but nope, I did not burn down that sparkle tree. You have to ram it down. So there's a few things you can do as a Minish, like talk to another Minish. Well, at least you have a Kinstone Fusion, so you're better than that one guy on the other side of the lake. You know the one. Well, it's not really much of a lake. The one on the other side of the small body of water, I'll put it like that. And for this we get 50 mysterious shells, really? Wow, that is actually a jip. Because if you've been keeping up with the mysterious shell stuff, or the figurine stuff rather, by this point, 50 mysterious shells is nothing. Ah well, I suppose we won't worry about the mediocre reward, which, to be fair, I could have gone for earlier. So, how do you like stealth sections? Because, like quite a few Zelda games since Ocarina of Time, this one's got a stealth section. The stealth sections in the series kind of vary in quality and how easy they are. This one's okay. It's pretty easy, just don't rush it and you'll be fine. It's fairly obvious where you need to actually move in order to get past the guards, so in that way it's not too terribly difficult, because sometimes it's hard to tell with the guards in other games where they're actually going, but here, nah. Just time it right and you'll be fine. So there's a hidden ladder right here, but I think I'd prefer to check this out. And it's just a hard-to-get-to fairy fountain, so why would you ever even bother with that? We'll check out the Minish reward later, but first, here we have this secret passage, which hopefully leads into Hyrule Castle. If it doesn't, I don't know where we're going. Hopefully it's safe. And we can't actually access this room beforehand because there's a switch on this side to open the door. And now we can't actually access anything else in the castle other than the Elemental Sanctuary. Thank goodness Vaati didn't order any guards to guard this, otherwise we couldn't actually complete our journey. I mean, he is a Minish, so you'd think he'd know about this place, but apparently he doesn't. I guess somehow it just slipped his sight. Maybe he just sits on the throne all day, and he's never passed by this area. Ah well. Now we empower our blade with a water element and get a blue-hilted sword. Oh man, that's looking pretty. Yeah, this is probably my favorite sword in the game. Color-wise, anyway. Yep, and now, of course, we get into 3 copies. FYI, you do actually need to make yourself 3 copies. If you try to make 2 Doylons, well, they just won't finish. In order to actually activate it, you need 3 of them. Thankfully, we've pretty much finished all the puzzles we need 2 Doilons for, so it doesn't matter too much. Anyway, all the doors are locked down here, so we have no choice but to go back down through here. And in order to get out of this area easily, just talk to this guy and he'll throw us right out. But that doesn't screw you over or anything. Wouldn't it suck if they just stood guard here forever? You know, doing the smart thing. Especially if you failed repeatedly and they knew you were trying to sneak in. But it's a good thing they're not competent or anything. Boy, and I was worried that they weren't competent before when they were... Well, I mean, I guess they're not off our side now, but they're not really on it now that they're accidentally following Body's orders. Then again, they are being, you know, pretty rude, I gotta say. Their tone is quite harsh, and I can't say I really care for it, so you know what? Screw them. Ah well, easy enough to sneak by them as a Minish, since they can't see us and all. And there's an easy enough passage. Of course, it's not like you can actually get to the sanctuary without it, and... Another 50 mysterious shells. Well, together that reward is almost worthwhile, you know, alongside the previous 50 I was about to say rupees, mysterious shells that we got. Still, though, not all that good. And actually, there's not too much we really have to do. I mean, there is that one thing. So, remember Percy and how somebody got into his house and is now living there, which is kind of creepy? Well, I think it's about time we fix that. So with this lantern, let's light up the house. Oh, wow. Pretty good disguise, I gotta say. Don't worry, it's secret to everybody. Well, I guess since that's all you have to say, I'll, Percy? Where'd you go, pal? Oh, he moved right back in. Wow, that was fast. Light speed, man. What a very weird situation. Oh! Well, it's a weird situation, but hey, I'll take them. I mean, I'd prefer a few more, but, you know, it's not like he actually collects them or anything. He just found them, so I'm happy enough to take them. So, that's actually pretty much all we have to do, if I'm correct. So now I think we're actually going to be moving on to the next area. Though first I would like to check the area up here, just to make sure I've got all the Kinstone Fusions. I believe I've mentioned it before, but some Tingle Brothers have 2 fusions, that guy doesn't. But this, however, is more important. Kind of. I mean, it's only a green Kinstone Fusion, but at least we can take care of it, right? So, that'll clear up the water over here. And I don't think we'll be checking that out, because it's a little bit far away, right? It's kinda close, but... yeah... You know, let's check it out real quick. And I really mean real quick, since we know we do move pretty quickly, and we get a bunch of rupees, so it's not an amazing reward, because, yet again, I'd like to stress the fact that I have plenty of them. But we're actually closing in on the next area, so we're actually going to go to this cave, where there's actually a block we need to use 3 people for. 3 Doilons, imagine that. Ah well, now we can conquer this block. And with that, next time on The Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap, we're going to follow the Ghost King's orders and move on to the next area, which promises to be very spooky.